Now, question 1 was already done for us, so I'm going to go straight to number 2. It says use number lines to answer questions. It says plot t so that the difference from the origin is 10. Now, so that it means the difference from the origin is 10. That just means that we're looking for 10, and we have to use what we have here. And we can see it says 3 something something 12. So I'm looking for increments that I could count. And if I count 3, 6, 9, 12. So now I can see those. Now in between I can see, and I can tell mostly from right here is 0 through 3, and I know this is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And it says plot T. So I would plot T as being right here on 10, and I would label it as T. Now for the next one over here, it says plot M so that the distance is 11 fourths from the origin. Now the origin being 0, what is the distance from P to M? Well, first off, it says plot M. Now 11 fourths. We know 11 divided by 4 is going to be 2. Okay, so let me come up here and do it. 11 fourths, which I know that means 4 will go into 11 2 times. That'd be 8, and that'd be 3 left over, so 3/4. So it's 2 3/4. Now if I look up here, I can see this would be 1, 2, and 3. So, and I can see between 2 and 3, it is 1/4, 2/4, 3/4, and 4/4. So 2 3/4 would be right here. And that would be M. Now it says, what is the distance from P to M? Now just like with the origin, I would not count where I'm at right here on P. So I would count, there would be 1, 2, 3/4, 5/4, 6/4, 7/4. So it would be 7/4 is the distance, which is actually equal to 1 3/4. Notice I counted fourths because that's what they was split up into, is fourths. Next one down here says plot a point that is 1500ths closer to the origin than Z. Okay, so it's closer to the origin. Now, this is done where it starts at 1.0 and it's getting smaller as it's going to the right. So it's 1500ths. Well, first off, I've got to figure out what the increments are. So the best thing sometimes to do is just guess, check, and revise. Okay. So if I can see the distance here, I know this is 25 hundredths because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1 minus 75 hundredths is going to be 25 hundredths. So let's just try 5 hundredths. So this would be 80 hundredths, 85 hundredths, 90 hundredths, 95 hundredths, 1. So I know each one of these is 0.5 because this would be 0.8 here, 0.85, 0.9, 0.95. Now it says 15 hundredths. Well, I know each one is 5 hundredths, so it'll be 5, 10, 15ths. So I know the distance right here, this would be the point, which would be 15 hundredths closer to the origin. Next one over here says plot U so its distance from the origin is 3/6 less than that of W. Okay, well first off I know the origin is going this way because it's getting smaller and the origin is 0. Now it says 3/6 less. Well, this is 9 2/6. So I can see by counting them, this here would be 1/6 here. 9 and 2, 6. 9 and 3, 6. 9 and 4, 6. 9 and 5, 6. And 10. Okay. Now it wants 3 6 less. So if I count it, I know this is 1 6, 2 6, and 3 6. So this plot right here would be 3 6 less than W. All right. A. Plot a point at 1. Label it A. So if we're coming down to here, and you can see this is 0 and 2, right in the center will be 1, and they've already plotted A for us right there. Next one says label a point that lies at 3.5 as B. Well, here we got 2, 4. Here, so this here would be 3, and we can see this would be 3.5, and that's why they labeled that as B. On C, it says label a point C whose distance from 0 is 8 units farther than that of B. So what I know I could do is I could start here, and I know it's 8 units more. So I'm going to go ahead and label these. That's 5. So I know this is 3.5. So this 1 unit, 2 units, 3 units, 4 units, 5 units, 6 units, 7 units, and 8 units. So I know right here would be C. And I like labeling 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 units. D, right here, plot a point D whose distance from 0 is 6 seconds less than B. Well, 6 seconds. So here's B. Now we can see each one of these is a second. So 6 seconds less than B. That means I'm going this way. So let's count them. I'm going to do it on top this time. That'll be 1 second, 2 second, 3 second, 4 second, 5 seconds, 6 seconds. So that would be D right here. E, what is the coordinate of the point that lies 17 seconds farther from the origin than D? Well, 17 seconds. Well, I could count them out. 17 seconds, we know each one, and I'm going to go, this would be 1, 2, 3 seconds, 4 seconds, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So there's 17 seconds, and that would be E. And last one down here, what is the coordinate of the point that lies halfway between F and D? Well, I can see here that D is actually at the 1/2 point. F, which is at the 9.5 point. Now, one way to do this is I can tell 9.5 minus 1/2. That means there's 9 units between the two. Now, if I wanted to find the midpoint, easiest way is to divide it by 2. 2 will go into 9 4 times, leaving 1 and 1/2. So the midpoint here would be 4 and 1/2, which would be right here. And that would be point G. All right. Mr. Baker's fifth grade class buried a time capsule in the field behind the school. They drew a map and marked the location of the capsule with an X so that its class could dig it up in 10 years. What could Mr. Baker's class have done to make the capsule easier to find? Well, they could have done a lot of different things. One thing they could have done is they could have, instead of doing this map like this, they could have brought a line across. And this here, let's say, being the origin. And right here would be right in the middle. And we're going to, let's say if you did this in feet, and let's say the total distance between the two, and let's just say is 100 feet. Right in the middle was 50 feet. So from the origin, could have been 50 feet. Now they could have also done the line coming from the school and up. There's a lot of variety of answers on this. But in any way, you could have sit there and done a line and created an origin, and then you would have created your line. Okay? So there's a lot of different answers to this one. There's no really just one answer.